In this week's BlizzPro Weekly, WoW Patch 5.4 is coming out, StarCraft 2 gets cool new 3D art tools, Diablo 3 is released for console, Hearthstone gets some new beta players, and why we think Hearthstone is not pay to win, even though the rest of the internet claims it is. Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of BlizzPro Weekly. As always, I'm your host, the OSAM fantastically bearded Chris Arnone. Let's get straight up into World of Warcraft.
Here's the beef.
So patch 5.4, the Siege of Orgrimmar, is scheduled to come out this upcoming Tuesday. And we have some things that you'll want to be aware of when this new patch drops. First off, we've been saying this for weeks now, but save your Valor points. They will not reset to Justice points when the patch launches, so you can use these Valor points on new items that come out in the patch. Also keep in mind, this is your last chance to run the current Barons event that came out in 5.3. Now once 5.4 launches, that world event will go away. So if you're trying for some of that old tier gear, you only have a few days left to get that done. Now for those wanting to raid in the Siege of Orgrimmar, Blizzard has released the new raid schedule. Normal and the first 3 bosses for the new Flex raiding will be opening on the release day, September 10th. From there it goes as follows. September 17th will open up Heroic, which requires a normal mode Garrosh kill, Flex Wing 2, and Raid Finder Wing 1. September 23rd will open Raid Finder Wing 2. October 1st, Flex Raid Wing 3. October 8th will open Raid Finder Wing 3. October 15th will open up the final wing in Flex, and the 22nd will open up the final wing in Raid Finder. Now, in order to access the new Raid Finder, you will have to have at least a 496 average item level or higher. Now, for those of you who are not into raiding, there are plenty of other things for you to do when 5.4 drops. You can venture off to the Timeless Isle and work on events there that can happen. You can enter the Celestial Tournament, as I am most certain that JR is doing, and get your pet battles on with an all-new pet battle scenario. He's just so giddy for that, he can't. Or you can go out and try out the new Proving Ground system and see how good you are at tanking, healing, or DPSing. It's not really a verb, JR, but we'll go with it. The last feature, which won't release on Tuesday, but will be coming a little later on, is the new Connected Realms, which will be connecting some of the lower population realms together to give them a more populated feel, and they'll be able to share things like auction houses, guilds, and whatnot. Now the patch is set to drop, as we've said, Tuesday, September 10th, and will be the final raid tier patch for this expansion. Now that tells us that, very likely, seems to us, at BlizzCon, we will learn the status of WoW's next expansion, which people are speculating will be called The Dark Below. Let's talk StarCraft 2.
You want a piece of me, boy?
So very recently, the StarCraft team released some new art tools for the editor, and it's now in open beta. The package includes 3ds Max plugins, source art files, and all the documentation and step-by-step tutorials you need in order to get started. Now, it isn't a sanitized or scaled-down editor either. You'll be working with exactly the same tools used by the StarCraft 2 team to create the character and mech models you actually see in the game. So you'll be able to create new models, particle effects, textures, animations, and any other kind of 3D asset you can think of in StarCraft 2. Now, to download and test out the new editor, just visit the official StarCraft 2 website to get started. Stock Esports, WCS Season 3 Premier League, round of 32, long enough name for a tournament, right? Has begun in both Korea and Europe, with America starting very soon. Now in Europe, we've already seen an upset in the first night, as Naniwa, who had made it to the final 8 in Season 2 in Europe, has already been knocked out in the round of 32. Also, MVP, the Season 1 winner, was knocked out early on as well. Duck Duck, who won Season 2 Europe, was able to advance to the round of 16. In Korea, there have been no major upsets as of yet, as Soul Key, Parting, SOS, Maru, and Flash all advanced to the round of 16. Now, the Season 3 finals will be held in Toronto, Canada on October 27th, and the top 16 players in points after that season final is held will go on to compete in the global finals at BlizzCon November 9th. How about Diablo 3?
Stay a while and listen.
So many of you may already know, but Diablo 3 officially launched on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 just this last Tuesday. So far, the reviews have been pretty positive. JR has a copy of the PS3 version, has been playing quite a bit, and he really enjoys it. Being able to be in full control of your character and do things like dodge attacks really gives a different perspective and feel for the game, along with the new UI controls and how the skills all work. It doesn't feel like a port, but really, a game built for the console. Now, for you PC gamers out there, some of the loot system that they're using for the console will be similar to what they're using Loot 2.0 on PC that's coming. The drops cater more toward your character that you're playing, and since the console version doesn't have an auction house, the loot system has to be that way. So this should be a relief for those of you who are tired of the auction system in the PC version, as you found, the plain self-found should be incredibly more easy on PC like it currently is on the console. Final thought is grab some friends. Sit on a couch and play this game. I personally love couch co-op. There's so few games that do it anymore. And this brings back a lot of memories of other dungeon crawlers like Gauntlet Legends. And there is no doubt this is absolutely the best Blizzard has done bringing a game for PC over to a console. And remember, this game is scheduled to also be released at some point in the future on PlayStation 4, but there aren't a lot of details on that version of the game. If it'll really play any different, or if it'll just be a visual difference, if they're going to use some of those touch controls, don't know any of that yet. But as of right now, there is also no announcement for Diablo 3 coming to Xbox One, though I still think it will. How about Hearthstone?
Pull up a chair by the heart.
So those of us in North America have been enjoying the closed beta in Hearthstone for a couple of weeks now. But our friends across the pond in Europe have been stuck watching live streams and YouTube videos of the gameplay. But all hope is not lost, because yesterday the closed beta hit Europe. So, you can try to get to the beta by opting into it via the Hearthstone official website. If you're not lucky, there are Blizzard customer service has been giving away several beta keys. Hearthstone Facebook page has been giving them away. Several fan sites have some to give away. There's even some rumblings that BlizzPro might be giving away some more beta keys here in the future. And it might benefit you to, hit that subscribe button right down here below where you're watching this. We plan on giving away some keys on the YouTube channel soon. So far, the hype behind the game has been in full force. Hearthstone has been the number 2 and number 3 most watched game on Twitch the last couple weeks, right behind MOBA powerhouses like League of Legends and Dota 2. So the fact that a game that's in early beta is competing with those garners is just like crazy. It's huge. As always, check our Hearthstone site at hearthstone.blizzpro.com if you're looking for news regarding the game, funny comics, listening to the Hearthpro podcast, or just some new deck ideas. It's one of the premier fan sites out there for everything Hearthstone. Speaking of Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft, it's time for the BlizzPro bitch session. Recently, Penny Arcade did an article talking about Hearthstone and how it is pay to win, but they were still okay with that. And a lot of people out there have been saying that Hearthstone is pay to win. We think that's bullshit. That's not what Hearthstone is. In fact, our managing editor of the Hearthstone site, Robert Wing, made a whole post that contests that Hearthstone is pay for ease, not pay to win. You can check that out, of course, on hearthstone.blizzpro.com. But some things to talk about here, all right? Pay to win. If it were pay to win, that means there would be some cards out there, individual cards who are just bloody crazy overpowered, and everybody knows it, and they are only available if you pay real world money to buy those specific cards. It doesn't work like that. You can only buy random packs of cards, and those random packs of cards have the same randomness that the packs of cards have that you would earn by playing the game. All right? So it's definitely not like it gets you some cards faster. It doesn't even get you good cards all that much faster, other than, of course, if you were to buy thousands of dollars of cards, you'd probably have pretty much every card in the game. It still doesn't make you a winner. For instance, JR has been honestly kicking ass. I'm still trying to figure out the meta behind the game, so I'm still not that great. I think I'm like Copper 1 star. I've been playing around a lot with, trying to get in arenas and practice modes and trying to, anyway. He's been kicking ass though, all right? Last I saw, he's like master level 2 stars, and his deck has all of two rare cards in it. No epics, no legendaries. It's not all about the cards. The same has applied with every trading card or collectible card game on the planet. Of course, Some of the rare cards are going to be phenomenal and awesome and kick-ass and everybody wants them. Some of the rare cards are going to be absolute horseshit that nobody's going to want to touch. So the rarity, epic, legendary, doesn't always mean it's the best card. It means they maybe thought it was the best card, but you get down in playtest where there's thousands of people playing, it doesn't always hold up. Robert also makes a point in the article that he's at 295 wins in ranked 2-star Masters. He got there by buying nothing in the game. He regularly competes against those who have many legendaries in their decks and can consistently beat them with a deck he made, as I said, 2 rares, no epics, no legendaries. Buying booster packs doesn't make you the top tier player. In fact, it's quite the opposite. If you spend tons and tons of money and you get all the best cards, you still don't know how to fucking play the game. If you work your way up, you play the different, styles, and you play the different people, and you play around with your deck, and you build a great deck, regardless of the rarity level of those cards, you are learning the game. You're becoming better that way. Personally, a deck I've been playing around with right now will punish the shit out of you if you make a wrong turn. Those that are based around combo a lot, oh man, if you throw down the cards at the wrong time, it's completely mediocre. You have to know how to play. All right. All Hearthstone offers is a way for players to expand their libraries quicker if they wish by spending money. It doesn't mean they're going to win. They don't even have aesthetic stuff right now. So really, it's just pay to get stuff faster. If the day ever comes that they say, okay, here's this really amazing, awesome card, and it's a game-changing card, and everybody recognizes it is, and they say, oh, but it's not going to be in boosters. You got to pay $10 real-world dollars for it. That's pay to win. That's bullshit. We will be at the front of the line screaming and yelling at Blizzard if they ever do that shit. All right. Off my soapbox, that's it for the bitch session and it for this week's video. I'm all over the internet on Goodreads, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, all over the place. Of course, why don't you listen to, now we've got a couple of, we got the BlizzPro the Hearthpro podcast and the Twizcast podcast. Lots of cool stuff for you to listen to and watch there, along with this show. Hit subscribe. And of course, head over to BlizzPro.com. All the news, reviews, great community, awesome team over there doing some awesome work. Check you guys next time.